right? Level 1 learners, they're very curious, with good communication, they're already tech savvy. The most important thing is how do you get these people to speak, the level 2 and level 3, especially in a hybrid program, virtual program. Everybody is behind Teams, camera off. I'm in a low internet area, my area does not support, and all that kind of stuff, right? So there are a lot of behavior that we see, but that is only the tip of the iceberg, right? The reason for that behavior is something else. It's the attitude, it's the belief. I can put everybody into a mold to say that they are like that. Then if I put that in a mold, then I have no option but to just accept where they are. But if I say that there is a possibility of change, is there something that I can do? Is there something, underneath in terms of beliefs and attitudes that I can change? So the whole model is that your beliefs dictate you apply, versus if you can give them the right context, right? You force the behavior. Now the moment you force the behavior, habits start forming, right? Now, can I do that? Can I use or leverage technology to do that? See, there is structured and unstructured learning. So, they say that ignorance on fire is better than knowledge on ice. How many of you have heard that, right? The inspiration, because there's no rocket science today. It's about just being there, having that passion to understand that you're going to make a difference. So how do I create that? So there's a structured part where we actually teach them some concepts, but unstructured learning is what is happening here. We had a networking break, there was unstructured learning. We met each other, we have handshake, each one of us has our own personality, especially when a our young kids are coming in to the workforce. It's very important that we recognize the importance of unstructured learning. So the moment we say unstructured learning, engagement becomes the key thing, right? We all know that content is the king, but what is the queen? It's the engagement. So how do you bring in the engagement? So most important thing here is engagement. If you see this here, how do I create that engagement? How do I take them with me in the journey? Not just the high tech, I'm talking about the high touch. So if I can give that high touch and make a difference and create a pathway in their brain where they try to appreciate what we are and come out of that traditional rut. The irony of, there is a lot of, so we're coming to social learning. So is there something I can do with tools of social learning where I can address this? So we say that there are disconnected platforms, there are if you see the current challenge in the marketplace, there are too many tools, there is content all over the place, there is very limited collaboration, right? So we have a platform which is called Epic.U, which is a social learning platform. What it does is, it helps cultivate the DNA for peer learning, curate, you can go live, you can share, you can network. What happens is that I'm not good in technology right now, but I'm a good singer, right? My strength in singing can help me overcome the other weak areas that otherwise I'm not good at right now, right? So I get that recognition. So once I get that recognition, you have gamification built in. It also is going to support in future a metaverse kind of an ecosystem. So this is where we say that, to be inspired and get ready for learning. Now, if you look at the mid-level professions, right, a lot of these domains, plethora of technologies that we have, right, as a solo performer, versus me driving, getting those professional skills in place, being the leader. Many people shy away from that, saying that I'm not that type, right? I'm confined to my technology, main or mera code. As they start learning, they start applying, and then we have reviews where their manager also sits, and I say, I see you change. I see that the way you're defining problems, as you graduate, we spoke about career freshers, we spoke about experienced people, maybe
or cloud native perspective, event-driven architecture, domain-driven design, microservices, event sourcing and SQL. This is the critical architectures from a cloud native application perspective. This again, what are the principles of cloud native? I'll just give a very high-level view. it's primarily focused on the business capability, right? Not from a technical perspective. So in today's cloud native world, you're not worried about somebody's writing a code in Java, or one part of the product is using developed using low code. Like from a Salesforce perspective, you saw that, right? From low code to pro code, right? So over here, in a typical cloud native architecture, you're not worried about the technology, what you're going to use. The primary focus is the business capability, what exactly the business capability. And a couple of other key elements over here is when you talk about your communication, right? You're talking about smart endpoints and dump pipe. That means you're not having a business rules going into your messaging system, right? Messaging system is primarily focused on communicating between two systems and then ensuring that you have a highly scalable system coming out. And it's fully automated system. Which means your testing, your deployment, everything is fully automated. That's what the automation is all about. And evolutionary architecture, it primarily means you're not building a perfect system. You build a system which caters to your business requirement today, and then you keep on evolving as per the business requirements, right? So you create an evolving system in place. And design for failure, what it means is if anything goes wrong, right? If like for example, there's Netflix pioneered that. They have a concept of bringing this production system down right when your end users are using the system, right? And that's called chaos engineering, where they talk about a lot of testing is done in a production environment, right? So that's what the concept of design for failure, where you don't worry about the failure part. You focus on how quickly you can get over that failure and then move forward. And just keep on this again. Now, composable enterprise architecture is which is actually evolved from all these technologies which has been happening, right? Your microservice architecture, domain-driven design, right? All those containers, right? All those things are happening from there. Now, what it means is, I'll give an example with the case study which I talked about. So, what this means is, one of the most frequently used, let's say, a module could be, your authentication module, which can be potentially used by across multiple applications. So over here, one example from the previous case study is, because we are doing a lot of document processing, we have one service. Of course, behind that there are multiple services running behind the scene, which is primarily focusing on transforming the document from one format to another format, managing the entire documents in terms of archiving, storing, right? So that's a service which can be used by any of their applications which will handle the documents, right? So that's the kind of concept of composable architecture where you can bring in, not necessarily everything should be built by the team or built by your engineering team. It could be done by, it could be a combination of off-the-shelf applications, your in-house applications, right? All can be combined together to make a composable architecture.
And also, I would now invite Mr. Vinay Konanur